Hey guys, what's up? It's Will Patterson here again. Welcome to my new studio. Well, not really, it's not really new. I've just moved closer to the back of the room like I used to do in my old school days. I've actually moved off of my chair. I'm standing up. Makes me feel a bit more energetic. I'm a logo designer, a YouTuber, and a hand letterer, and I'm here today to give you 4 tips to make your logo designs look great. The first tip is this: make it last. By making it last, I mean making that design that you're going to create last for a long time. Too many times I've seen people, including myself, create a logo design and then say to themselves, or the client says, this isn't going to last a long time. This is only a short-term design, really. It's not really got the aesthetics or the functionality of a timeless logo. We need to do it again. And for so long, I've seen companies get a new logo and it doesn't work for that long, maybe a year or maybe half a year or just 3 years. A logo design is meant to be timeless, and the way to get a timeless logo design is by making sure you're not just following the design trends. Design trends are good for us designers, that we get to see what is going on, but if you're someone who just designs out of the design trends that are going on right now and you're not building towards an actual brand and being unique about it, then you're going to face troubles, and that design trend is only going to be short-lived. And that's the idea about trends, is that they come and they go, but logo designs are meant to stay and they're meant to withstand those trends. The second tip is this: start with and use basic shapes. When I say start with, I mean you should be on pencil and paper, just conceptualizing your logo design without any distractions from the computer. If you don't do this, you'll be creating things without the freedom of pencil and paper, and also the limiting factors of the pencil and paper, if you get my drift. There are 3 different types of logo designs that we see in the world right now. The first one is the pictorial logo designs, where literally it's a picture of something that's very literal, like the Apple logo. The second one is a logo type, or also known as a word mark, which is what I mainly work with. It's just word marks and logo types, where it's just typographic logo references. And the last one is abstract iconography, or what I'd like to call flat UI. Out of those 3 different types of logo genres, the actual iconography is the most popular with clients nowadays, or the most popular with people nowadays. I think this is just because it's simple, and it could be a trend that is quite a long trend, but I reckon it is a trend. The thing that I love about abstract iconography is that they're 1, simple, 2, they're all concepts that have been made alive, and 3, they're really interesting. This is what people pay good money for in logo design, is to have iconography or abstract logo designs. So when I'm saying keeping things simple, I'm really talking about the shapes that people use when they're doing abstract iconography logo designs. For me, I'm a logo type designer, so I'm allowed to get a bit detailed sometimes because I do logo types, and within them you can be detailed, but not too detailed beyond the point of where you forget what the logo looks like. You see, the human brain looks for simple shapes, or should I say, it renders things out in simple shapes. That's why we sometimes forget facial features of some people, but we get the general gist of what they look like. That's why for some landmarks we remember the shape of the landmark, but maybe not the exact amount of windows that are in that landmark. But logos, like iconography, are supposed to be rememberable. You're supposed to remember them really easily, like the Apple logo, which is a cool sort of looking logo. You can use very simple shapes within Illustrator to create the logo. A lot of people go to the pen tool in Illustrator in the final stages to sort of vectorize a logo design, but in reality, all you really need is a circle and the rectangle tool with the Pathfinder tool. You need that as well. The third tip I have for you to make your logo design look amazing and be amazing is do not use colors whilst designing the logo. You may think this is a bit weird, but in reality, you don't want to be using colors when vectorizing or just designing your logo. A logo is meant to be very simple most of the time, so you want to be doing it in black and white, or on the opposite, depending on which you prefer to see. This means that we don't get distracted by colors before we actually need to implement colors into the design. Say if it's a Google logo, which is inherently about the colors as much as it is about the shapes, then you do need to worry about the colors at the end of the process. Just during the process, you need to make sure that all the shapes and the positive space is filled properly and it looks well, even in black and white. I can guarantee you most of the time your logo will be seen in black and white if it's printed, or just in one color when it's printed. And you want to make sure that black and white whilst you're designing your logo is looking as good as it is when it's colored. At the end of your logo design process, once you've done the shape and the positive spaces and everything, then you can go and move on to colors, because that is the right time to do it. But if you are working on a logo design that is based nearly entirely about the color, then you can break the rules a little bit. There is really no proper rule set for designing a logo. There's just a set of cultures that us as designers bring towards people of what we do. It's called our personal design process, and this is my personal design process to make all my logos look amazing. The last tip I have for you to make your logo designs be awesome, not just look awesome, is to keep it functional. Functionality is the reason behind logo designs. People will come to me and say, oh, so you're basically like an artist. And I'll say to them, no, I'm not, I'm a designer. There is a huge difference between a designer and an artist. An artist will create things for the aesthetics of what you're creating them, so it's pleasing to the eye or pleasing to the sense. But a designer is carefully making sure that what is being made also looks good, but it works well, it communicates well, and that's why it's called design. That's called functionality. If your logo design isn't functional, that means that people aren't able to read it, and that means that the customer or the client that you're working with will not receive as much revenue. The whole reason we design logos for clients is to make sure that that client gets more business, hence more money, because of what you're designing. That's why it's so important not just to create a logo design that looks great, but also works really well. When you're faced with the decision to make about a certain logo, of whether you should change this small aspect of the logo design to make it look aesthetically better, then most of the time you will want to go with the functionality side if you're not doing that already. Sometimes you'll just have to grit your teeth and do what's functionally best for that logo design to work. You should know where it's gonna go. You should know if it's on a website, a banner, a business card, or what kind of products it's gonna be on. So functionality and making sure it's noticeable, recognizable, and rememberable or memorable is really key to creating a great logo design. Thank you so much for watching this video. This is the after video part where I'm going to explain to you certain parts of my life and what's been going on. I've been away for a couple days, hence why there's been no real activity on this channel for over a week. And a couple days away actually takes a lot out of you when you're doing YouTube work, especially when everything is on a schedule and when you need to create things before time or ahead of time. If you haven't checked it out already as well, I post videos on Fridays all about my thoughts. So they're not really about design or anything like that, but it's basically my personality on the channel. So if you want to check that out and learn a bit more about me and what I do, then go ahead and check me out on the Fridays My Thought playlist. Also, a huge shout out to Ian Bernard, who is an amazing hand lettering artist. You can go and find him on Instagram, but recently he's been posting some amazing videos on his YouTube channel, which you can learn all about lettering, and I'm sure he's got many more to come. So go and check him out. I'm really excited to be seeing more of his content. You legend. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll catch you this Friday.